Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Parker Pod. On today's episode, I'm joined by someone who has mastered the art of balancing passion, career shifts, and personal branding. Aubrey Moore is a competitive horse rider, a former personal trainer at Crunch Fitness, and a social media influencer with a growing audience on Instagram and TikTok. She's recently stepped into a brand new role in ice sports management for Advent Health Ice Rink, bringing her creativity and drive into a completely different arena. Today, we're going to talk about the journey that's taken her from the gym to the stables to the rink, what it's like to grow a personal brand online, and how she navigates change while still pursuing the things that she loves. Hey, Aubrey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Let's just start off with where you and I met each other. I mean, we met each other at Crunch. I was one of the new hires. What got you into fitness and specifically working at Crunch?
So the fitness journey started, oh boy, probably like 3.5 years ago. I was like made fun of a lot for being built like this. So my mom was like, go to the gym. And so I started going, and then I have a pretty addictive personality. So that quickly became like my thing. And I would spend like hours in the gym. I had no idea what I was doing, like at all. So I actually hired, like my first year working out, I hired a coach at Crunch, which is where I kind of started working out. She was like, body build. And I was like, okay. I'm very competitive too. So I needed some sort of thing to work towards, I guess you could say. And she helped me a lot. Her name is Meg. I don't know if she's still there. I went through my bodybuilding journey. It was so life-changing, you can put it. It was really an awesome journey, and like doing it being so young. I'm sure we'll dive a little bit more into that later. But I was working at the rink at the time, and I needed a change, and so Crunch was actually opening up, and I was like, this is so perfect. So I decided to get certified. I interviewed for the job, and I took it, and then we opened. So that was a fun experience.
So what would you say was like the hardest part of your bodybuilding journey?
Oh, man. I mean, the whole thing was extremely hard. I would say, usually for most people, I feel like it's the mental like aspect of the journey, but I've always been super keen like in my emotions and my mindset. I didn't struggle too hard with that. I would journal every day. Like I just make sure like I was checking in with myself, and I really wanted to do it, which I think helped too. Like I know a lot of people really want to do it, but not as badly like as I wanted to get on stage and bodybuild, and I'm so used to competitive sports, so it was like do this or like nothing. So the physical aspect was definitely the hardest for me, not necessarily training, but it was the food. I'm a huge foodie, and you get used to it. Like in the moment, it's not hard. Prep was honestly not a breeze, but it was the easiest part of the whole journey, weirdly enough. It was more the post show that kind of really screwed me. You're so vulnerable and lean and tiny, and I'm built super small already. I was like 103 pounds. And so when you're rebounding like out of a prep, your body just reacts like it's so incredibly sensitive. And I would eat like one thing and gain like 10 pounds. And so then I pretty much spiraled, and that's where the mental aspect came back into play, and that really messed my mental up coming out of the prep. It was a pretty wild journey, and like I would consider, this is 2 years ago, like I was in prep 2 years ago. I would consider maybe 3 or 4 months ago, like just now getting my relationship with food on a better track. My relationship with the gym right now is just completely not there because of being a personal trainer, which we can kind of talk about that, which is why I left. Not why exactly I left the space, but one of the big reasons I left the space. So it started off good, and then it slowly got to something that I honestly never want to do ever again, which is sad because I loved it so much. And coming out of the prep, I was like, this is like my stuff. Like, I want to keep doing this. I want to do this forever. Like, I'm going to go pro. Like, I'm going to work so hard. And then it just, like, the door shut super fast, which is sad.
So you're saying it was like that aftermath of like, because in your mind and in the social realm of bodybuilding, when you hit that peak, that's the best physical shape that you're in, right?
Right.
So do you think it was like you thought anything shy of that was no longer your peak physical self? Was that it?
And it's super hard for me to like explain because like I've talked about it before, but not a lot of people talk about it because it's so glorified. And like if you know a woman going on social media and being like, I hate my body, like I eat too much, like everyone's like, whoa, what was her, like there she goes, like typical. And so not a lot of people do that, not a lot of people speak out about it. It was more of, I don't even know, like your body just changes so fast, so it gives you like the body dysmorphia. Everyone's super familiar with that. But going from 103 pounds, I nailed my reverse diet. It's like an 8-week diet afterwards where you kind of slowly bring, you know, calories up, cardio goes down. I didn't gain much weight in that initial period. And then my coach was like, okay, like, good job, you nailed your reverse. Like, you're ready to, you know, have your free meals back and all of that. And that's where I completely just lost it. And I gained probably like 30 pounds in 4 months. And I'm really not one to like look at myself in the mirror ever and be like, I don't like how I look. Like, I'm super okay with being heavier, being lighter. Like, I don't care. It's all part of the process. I know I can change it. Like, I know if I'm looking a little, you know, not how I want to look, I know what to do to get myself back there. It was just, it all happened so fast, I think. And it's a really lonely sport, which I know a lot of people do talk about. You know, not everyone understands why you're bringing, you know, white fish and green beans to, you know, Burns Steakhouse for someone's birthday, right? They're like, oh, just eat this meal. Like, no, I can't do that. And so I think the pressure from like going to parties and wanting to go out with my friends again and wanting to drink, I was just doing all that. And so my body changed so fast. And you feel like shit. Like, you feel bad when you do that, but you cannot stop. Like, you cannot stop. I was doing cardio. I was taking fat burners. Like, nothing was getting the weight off. And then you just give up and then you stop. And that's kind of what I did, which unfortunately it solved my problem, but it's, you know, it's sad because I don't have as good of a relationship with like the gym and bodybuilding.
So when you say you don't have like a great relationship with the gym, like did you stop working out altogether, or like certain exercises like cardio specifically, or just altogether?
So kind of like when I was bodybuilding, you're working out, you know, 5-6 times a week. I was doing 90 minutes of cardio every single day, an hour and a half. It was nuts. And I had like the passion for it, so it didn't even matter. I'd be up at 3 a.m. like downstairs on my parents' treadmill for 90 minutes before I went and opened the rink at 6 a.m. But then when you kind of lose that one thing that you're really working towards, which is like the stage in that case, you're like, oh, I don't have to do this. Like, I can, you know, eat this one bite. But I would say I got so just sick of being bigger. And this is not against like anyone that has like a bigger physique, but that's like not me at all. Like, anyone that knows me, I'm built very thin, and that's where I'm comfortable at, honestly. And I got so out of my comfort zone, like I just didn't feel like myself. Like, I'll look at pictures a year ago, I didn't like my face, like I just didn't look the same, and I didn't like it. But everyone else was like, you look so good, you look so muscly, like, oh my god, your butt is huge. Like, but that didn't matter because I was super uncomfortable and I couldn't get the weight off, and no one was helping me get the weight off. And so I just stopped. I stopped working out in November. I would work out, you know, maybe 2-3 times a week, doing whatever I wanted. That's when the weight started coming off. I think when I dropped the stress of, I have to lose it, I have to lose it, I have to get ready for prep, I have to do this. I dropped that stress. And then when I stopped working out on like a plan, I kind of stopped working out altogether, honestly. I haven't done cardio, and I mean, I haven't been on a treadmill since probably November of last year, maybe even, you know, September, October. I work out, you know, once, twice a week, but it's like when I want to. And honestly, I do not want to ever, which is sad. And I think a lot of it has to do with being a personal trainer and being in the gym. It's like, you know, it's like working at Chick-fil-A. Like, you don't want to eat Chick-fil-A for dinner, right? So I would get off my shifts. I don't want to work out. I just worked people out for 6 hours. Like, I want to go do something completely different. And that's why I got back into riding horses. So that's another topic there. But it's sad. And I definitely think I will get back into working out and get back into a routine that works for me, because it was such a big part of my life. But I just got so incredibly like burnt out. And I see it happen all the time, but no one talks about it. Like, no one, because everyone's like, you gotta show up for yourself, like, do hard shit, like, even if you don't want to, you got to do it. Like, yes, but to an extent, because you'll end up like me and you'll just be so burnt out. You don't want to even walk in a gym anymore.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if this is like, if it's it for you, but for me, sometimes I get so involved with something and I go so hard at it.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, okay, how do I go harder from here?
Right.
Like I feel like I can't go any harder than I am currently.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, well, now I don't have that dopamine rush of getting to a higher level.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go somewhere else where I'm starting at ground zero, and then I can build up to that higher level. Because you peaked pretty early in your fitness journey. You like started working out and immediately like, I'm going to bodybuild. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life.
Right.
And immediately. So there wasn't any gradual progression for you at all.
No. And that's like typical me, is like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it like 500%. I can't just like do something. Not that I want to be like the best at it, but I love to just fully like submerge myself. I'm like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do this like 500%. I'm not just going to, work out for 30 minutes a day, like a passion, like it's a hobby. Like, no, I got to go like full on. And I think it's different too, because I worked out for fun and like as a hobby, and I didn't really have any real goals. And so I was like, right off the bat, I was like, I need something to do. I need to compete. I need to have, some sort of goal. And so everyone's like, bodybuild. And I was like, okay, like, why not? And, 3 years later, I want nothing to do with that. But yeah.
So let's talk about that. You recently left Crunch and you're saying that you want like nothing to do with the gym. Was there like a point, or like did something happen that made you feel like that, or you feel like it was just gradual, like what you're talking right now?
No, it was definitely gradual. Like, I absolutely love my clients and, being around them and, being able to help them make an impact. I just think I was so, like, it was my whole entire life. I was so into it that you burn out. Like, you burn out so fast. It was my job. It was my passion. It's all over my Instagram feed. It's all over my TikTok feed. Like, my whole entire life. I was eating, on a plan. So my whole entire day was based on the gym. And I wouldn't say I left Crunch because of that, but it was definitely like a big, kind of tiebreaker. It was like, well, I'm not even taking care of myself anymore. I'm not working out. I don't want to work out. I don't like to work out. I need to distance myself from this whole world and whole environment. That way I can start building up a better relationship. And it's already working, as odd as that sounds, because it's only been a week. But just being already out of that environment, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go to the gym today. Like, I kind of want to go to the clubhouse gym or my apartment gym and work out. Like, that sounds fun, because I'm not doing that all day. And it's only been 1 week. So I see this, working. I don't think I'm going to get as fully like bodybuilder into it. Maybe I will. I don't know. You never know with me. Everyone jokes. They're like, you're going to be an astronaut tomorrow. And I'm like, oh boy. But I don't know. But I think I'll get back into a routine and just live to be healthy. I'm not really concerned with the way, I look or anything. I just want to obviously weights is so good. We know that because we're trainers. But yeah, I'll get there, but slowly.
It's good though to take a break, and this is something that I'm never going to listen to. This is advice that I'm going to say right now that I'm probably never going to listen to, but it is good to take a break. Yeah. Like, it's good to rest your muscles.
Yeah.
And also when you rest your muscles, you also rest your mind, right? Like, you can refocus and you can then use that time and that energy to kind of take a step back and figure out what direction you want to go to next and recommit yourself to a new kind of life.
Right.
And if you're constantly in that gym environment, you're still thinking like, I mean, at least for me, I was like, should I still be a personal trainer? And it's like, dude, you have 2 other jobs. You have a podcast. You have like all these other things that you're doing. You shouldn't also add personal trainer to that. But I never took that step back. I left Crunch. Next day, I was in the gym anyway. Like, I still kept going to the gym and kept going to the gym. Right. I do think, though, that going to a different gym helped me.
Yes.
Like, I went to EOS instead of Crunch. So, like, being in that totally different environment definitely helped me lift better. And, like, it was like, oh, this isn't the gym I was working at. This is a totally different area, totally different space. Like now I feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting a different gym membership because I'm banned for 90 days, you know that. But
Yeah.
I'll have to go to EOS or just, stick at, the apartment gym or work out at home. I don't know, but I have been getting a little bit of an itch. I'm like, okay, like I do miss working out for myself. I think I am kind of rebranding my life. It's because it's hard when something's literally like your entire life, career, passion, everything, and then you completely shut the door. Like, I
Yeah.
am not related to fitness or the gym or anything like at all, besides some of my online clients that I have, which I thoroughly enjoy, and like my bodybuilding posing people. Other than that, like nothing. And I haven't
Yeah.
had that break in 2 years. And so it's definitely different. But I'm really happy that I did that and like where I'm at because I think it's gonna, just fix my relationship with eating healthier and working out because it's almost like I'm rebelling against myself. Like I'll eat like crap just because like I can, like making up for those 2 years or like I'm not working out like oh I can do that. It's such a weird thing because like if you asked me like 5 years ago, oh hey did you know in 2 years you're gonna be a bodybuilder, you're gonna be a personal trainer, I would have been like yeah freaking right. If you would have told me like oh you're working out in the gym, I would have been like yeah, right. And then if you would have asked me 2 years ago, like, hey, did you know in 2 years, like, you're not gonna be bodybuilding, you're gonna have no competition plans, you eat like shit, and you don't work out, I would have been like, no way. So it's kind of funny, like, how you think of that.
And there's two different ways to have a healthy relationship with food.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about assessing where you're at. Like for a lot of people, they're like, oh, I have a healthy relationship with food because I'm so strict with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, while that is healthy, I don't want to take that away. But then it gets to a point where like you're like, oh, I don't enjoy anything though. Like I don't enjoy anything anymore. And I
Yeah,
have no goal either. It's not like I'm on a prep or it's not
right,
like I'm trying to hit a goal. I'm just on this strict diet for the strict diet reasons. And while that does work for some people, like how you said, I'm eating junk food to tell myself, no, I can eat junk food. So there's even like a healthy relationship and a healthy intention with you eating food that's not good for you because you're
yeah,
like, I want to get rid of this mindset of, my value is in what I eat and how much I
right,
work out.
right. And that's a great point. I think the relationship with food thing is super complicated and like a lot of people speak out about, disordered eating and like all of that stuff, which I struggle with really bad after my show. But it's not like one size fits all. Like everyone has different problems with food. I couldn't put the fork down. And now I could care less. I eat when I'm hungry. I eat what I want when I am hungry. I go to get ice cream 5 times a week if I want to. Like, and I feel great. And my body is fine. And everyone's body works super differently too. Like a lot of people diet so hard because they're like, I need to lose, 100 pounds. And then they binge on the weekends and they binge eat and then they undereat the next day. And it's just such an unhealthy balance. And I would never recommend hard dieting for anyone unless you're on a competition prep. It just messes with your mind so incredibly hard. There's so many other ways to lose weight or to gain weight or to, do this and do that. And it's hard to recover from. It's taken me 2 years to get my relationship with food back even remotely close to, where it was when I was in high school. It's so hard, but we're getting there.
I can attest that, being on a very, very strict diet to lose 100 pounds in a very
Yeah.
short amount of time is not great.
No,
It's not great for your mental at all. I did it,
yeah.
and while I am happy I did it, and I do think that it was something very good that I achieved, in the long run, I did see a definite difficulty in getting a relationship with food back to a
Yeah.
normal level. To
It's
the point,
scary.
yeah, because you're like, guys, you don't understand. Like, if I
Mm.
have a piece of cake right now, like I'm cooked,
Yeah.
and like
The
you,
whole
when you,
cake.
yeah, and like when you get to that big perspective where it's like, nah, like just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like I'd go out to eat, my family would get dessert, or like my girl would get dessert, and I'm like,
Hmm.
you don't understand. They're like, oh, you don't want any. I'm like, no, 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 no. It's not that I don't want any. Trust me,
Yeah.
I want 5. That's the problem.
That's the
That's why
problem.
that's
And
why
I'll
I can't
take
have
that.
any of that. And just I do think it's very, very important to be able to balance that relationship with food, which I've recently been able to do.
Good.
But like you said, it takes like a year and a half,
It
2 years to get back to a point where you feel comfortable enough to go, I can have a low calorie ice cream. It's fine.
Or
I'm
like
not going to go crazy.
Yeah, and I think another thing was like on prep you have to say like no to so many things. So when you're not on prep, like you say yes to everything, everything, and then you think you're wasting it because you're like, well, shit. If I don't know if I'm on cuss on, I was like, well, shit. Like if I don't eat all of this, like this is just such a waste. Like if I was in prep right now, like I would die for this. Like I have to eat all of it, and like that's what I used to do. And we'd go get Twisty Treat and I'd get a large and I would finish the whole thing. Not because I wanted to, but because I felt like I had to. And now I have self-control. I could go down, I'm at my parents' house right now. I can go downstairs, take half a cookie, try and be like, that was good. I'm good. Like, I don't want any more. Like, I can say no. I can put the fork down, literally. Like, that was such a hard thing to do. I would eat, like, lick the plate clean. Everything. Because I felt like I had to, not because I wanted to. I'd be sick to my stomach full, still eating.
Yeah.
It's
that's definitely the other end of it, not being healthy. I remember you were about to do that competition again.
Yeah.
And I remember, you pulled out and I thought it was, were you still going to do like bikini?
Yeah. So, man, what month was this? Was this last year? I think it was
Yeah.
Like April or May. I picked 2 shows out and I'd started prep and I was in prep for a little bit and I was like, I cannot do this. Like, I could not do it.
What do you think it was? Like the mental part or the emotional part? Or do you think it was the same thing as the first time, like the physical part?
It's like, I don't even know. Like, when you just can't do something, but you have no idea why. Like, I had no idea why I couldn't stick to my meal plan. I just wasn't doing it. I'd go get, Raising Cane's or something. And I'd be like, it's fine. They'd be like, oh my God, wait, I'm on prep. Which is weird because the first time I did this, I did not cheat one time and it have a lick of something off my meal plan. I had 4 free meals, I think, through my whole entire prep. And I did not cheat at all. It was non-negotiable. But I think I just wasn't ready to get back into it, or maybe I didn't want it as bad and I gave myself leeway, or maybe I saw other people, being like, oh, it's okay if you, do this or that. I don't even know. And it's just weird to think about because there's just no reason. Nothing happened. It's just I had such a messed up relationship with everything bodybuilding related. I was like, I just can't do it. And so I called my coach and we talked and I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't.
Do you think that had something to do with burnout? Burnout mentally, because you were exhausting yourself in so many different areas of life that
I think working in the gym didn't help at all. I think I could have stuck it out if I was not working as a personal trainer. I think it has a little bit to do with burnout. I'm just looking back, putting myself in the brain that I had when I was doing that. I did all my cardio, I worked out, I just couldn't get the food right. I don't know, I just, working as a personal trainer, the hours are crazy. I was there from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. I go back from 11 to 12. I go back from 4 to 8. I don't have time to eat. Even being a week back into my 9 to 5 desk job, I've probably eaten more than I have in the past month because I'm on such a good schedule now. I can actually eat every 3 hours. I'm actually hungry because I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off all day, with not having breaks,
6 energy drinks. You're just what's food?
Yeah, suppressing your appetite, all of that. I would eat 2 meals a day. I would eat one when I came home from my 5 to 9, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'd eat a big breakfast. I'd sleep when I wasn't at the gym, and you go back, and then I'd get home and we'd make potatoes and chicken. I was not eating enough. Hence, I lost a lot of weight because I also kind of stopped working out. So a lot of it's probably muscle, but I don't know, just being back in a healthy relationship with my food, I've lost so much weight.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. And it just shows that you don't have to be on this insane diet to lose weight or to be happy with yourself. And sometimes disconnecting yourself from that is even beneficial in a way because you can find your value in life through other things other than that one thing that you're so focused on.
Yeah.
kind of shifting gears a little bit
Mhm.
to your social media growth. Like you've built a really good presence on social media, Instagram, especially TikTok.
Mhm.
How do you balance like authenticity while still catering to the audience and growing your social media engagement?
I think don't cater to any audience. Like,
Mm,
that's my biggest thing. I post what I want to post, when I want to post, when I feel like I want to post. I think that allows you to be like super authentic, and a lot of people can then relate to you. I have a huge journey with social media going back like 6 or 7 years. But right now, what I'm doing, what am I doing in life? I'm riding horses, outside of work. So what am I posting about? I'm posting about horses and doing that and connecting with people and brands about the equestrian community. When I was working out, what was I doing? I was posting, workout videos, connecting with, workout brands. I kind of, post whatever I want. I'm not very like aesthetic or like preppy or like girly or anything, so I can't be like, get ready with me, like here's my shopping haul, like that's not something I can do. So it's always been like a passion of mine. I'll kind of, post about, hence when I posted politically and that absolutely blew up. It's funny though, because kind of the same, and this just goes to show my like super like passionate addictive personality to certain things, is I had 1.3 million followers on TikTok when I was, 16 and 19 years old. And I shut that door. Like,
mm,
yeah, like hard. I got banned and I was like, nope, I'm done.
yeah.
And then I didn't get back on social media for a while.
Well, why did they ban you on TikTok?
It was very political and controversial. So TikTok didn't like that. And they banned us. And it was actually a whole big thing because I had so many followers and like we had built such an incredible and like absolutely insane. This time of my life, I talk about this like all the time just because it wasn't real. Like this whole
Mm,
social media time of my life was so freaking insane, and we had this absolutely crazy community surrounding it. And TikTok hated it. TikTok hated my side of things. They hated the other side of things. They hated all of it, and they banned all of us. And it was so sad. But I mean, I made lifelong friends doing that. We would travel twice a month. I'd get flown to Israel. I'd get flown to Phoenix 3 times a year. We had events in Tampa. Like, and keep in mind, I'm 16 years old
yeah.
doing this with adults. I'm meeting the most powerful politicians in America. I am on every news station you could even think of, not just in America. Like, it was wild. And I'm a full time high school student. And so I ended up pulling out of high school and doing halfway, like kind of when COVID hit, I didn't go back. I stayed home and I just did this crazy social media thing pretty much full time. It was wild. Like, wild. It was nuts.
So let's dive into that journey. Like, what was what was the craziest part of it?
Probably being so young and just being able to connect with the most powerful people in the United States of America. Because it wasn't just influencing. We were so wrapped up in politics and conspiracy and like some pretty scary shit. And it's just like we'd fly to like, Arizona, and I'm shaking hands with Ron DeSantis or something, like super casually. He's like, "Oh, I seen you on TikTok." Like, like wild stuff with that, like that. And just being able to travel and make so many friends, and the educational, aspect, because we targeted Gen Z, like, which is all the youngins at the time. And we just wanted them to, have some common sense and get up to date with what was going on. And then it completely spiraled. And we created a nonprofit out of that. We ran, multiple businesses. I was making money as a child with millions of followers, brand deals. Like, my dad had a funny story. Like, I wasn't really allowed to have social media when I was in high school. And I had this like secret TikTok account.
Mm.
And a brand started like reaching out to me like, "Hey, we'll pay you, I don't know, $1,000 if you make this video." And I'm like, "What do I do?" And so I had to make a PowerPoint presentation. And like I sat downstairs and I was like, "Mom, Dad, I have 600,000 followers on TikTok. I'm getting paid now. I need help." So they kind of took over and like managed that for me. Oh my God, it was just such a crazy time. Like, such a crazy time. It was a total fever dream. honestly.
Yeah, especially being that age and having that kind of influence and that kind of following. And I think that's one scenario where like social media can be very beneficial
Right.
for people in general.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it's kind of straight away from more that like, I mean, clearly you do think it is because TikTok banned your account and banned the whole thing, right? Like, what is it about people having a voice like that you think kind of scares companies, especially social media
Yeah,
companies?
it's super weird because they banned all of us, right? Like, usually, like, when we post on Instagram, okay, they ban us and they want to ban the other side, whatever. You know, you see that all the time. Like, they're censoring us, they're censoring us. No, but they censored all of us, this whole community. And I think it was super intimidating for them to see because we would, find things out and we post it, millions and millions and millions of children and teens and Gen Z and adults are seeing this. It's fast news. Like, it could have gone wrong, I think, at any moment. Like, if we said something we weren't supposed to say, or like, it could have been scary for them. I think we were getting a lot of like information that made sense and calling the government out, and they were getting scared. I don't know if it was TikTok itself or like if it was the Chinese government or the US government or what, but they shut it down. Like, they were like, these kids are scary, like it's gotta stop. And we were all over the news. Like, it was such a big movement, and I think it was so good though because the average 16-year-old at the time, they didn't know the difference between Obama and Biden and Trump and DeSantis and all these little people. They had no idea what it was. And it was such a big deal, the 2020 election especially. And we just wanted people to have the right information. And, the fake news media outlets, they don't want you to have the right information. They want to make sure everyone has the same opinion. They want to pay celebrities. We would get people like the local representatives or different states and stuff being like, hey, we'll pay you $1,000 if you make a video and say you love the COVID vaccine. Like, all the stuff you see on social media. Selena Gomez talking about, I love Biden. You know how much she got paid to do that deal? Like, probably millions of dollars. Everything's fake on there, but we were being real. And I think that's really what scared it. And they shut that thing down so fast.
That is what scares them when they can't control, right? Because like
zero control.
People in those positions, right? When you have so much money to the point where like you don't need any more money, the next step is to control as many people as possible. So like when they couldn't control, when you're like, no, my reason is bigger than $1, that's when they're like, okay, well, this isn't happening anymore then.
Yeah. And you're very right.
That's scary, especially in a world and in a country that says that free speech is promoted. And like you can say what you want to say, right? But free speech is not promoted per se. What is promoted and where money goes is where you say something that you probably wouldn't have said unless there was money backing it. Because if you would say it, if there was no money backing it, then you wouldn't need $1 bill to say it anyway.
Right.
So I think that definitely people need to know all of the information, right? And the more information you know, the more informed you are, the better decision you're going to make. Which just makes me think, why do they want people to not know certain information?
Right.
Because
that's the biggest question that we'll always have. Man, out of all the videos that, we made, we had never done any sponsored for, a certain elected official or a certain party. We never did that. But they would try. They'd be like, hey, we just passed this bill. I need you to make the video and like this script. And I actually saw, because I don't know if you know who like Harry Sissel is and all that stuff. They're big media influencers now, like huge, of the Democratic and the Socialist Party or whatever. They call themselves like the most radical, crazy, weird, ideology in the universe. But they all got paid, and I saw the contract and everything. They all got paid, like, I'm not going to say the amount, but like a crap ton of money to make, like 5 or 6 videos and go to the Democratic National Convention this go around. So that's why there was a bunch of influencers there. They were all getting paid too. I'd go to that convention. If you were like, hey, I'll give you $400,000 if you show face here and make 2 videos, I'd be like, all right, see you later. Like, do those people really believe in that stuff? Maybe, probably not all of it. It's all skewed. Everything you see online and in media, it's all fake and messed up. And you got this party controlling this news channel, and you got this party controlling the other news channel. Like, it's all skewed. And that's why we just thought it was so important that, especially the young kids that are going to be, the future. I say young kids, I mean, like, teenagers that are going to be the future voters. We couldn't even vote at the time. That's why this is so funny to everyone. We couldn't even vote at the time. And everyone needed to be informed of what was really going on and not the spewed, party political bullshit. Because we stood on a side very clearly, but there were a lot of times you were like, okay, this is happening. Like, what the heck? Like, we don't agree with this. This makes no sense. Here's why. We just wanted people to make their own decisions and vote and speak out according to those decisions. Because a lot of people see the people that are getting paid, they're like, oh, well, again, the Selena Gomez reference, I don't know why she's in my head. Selena Gomez is saying to vote for Joe Biden because he saved the sea turtles. Like, I'm going to do that. Like, really? That's it?
Yeah.
Like, put some effort into it. This is your future too.
One thing that I find a little disturbing with the whole situation is that there's people that have the right to vote. I don't find it disturbing. I think everyone who is a U.S. citizen should have the right to vote, right? Like 100%. But there's people who have the right to vote that aren't necessarily informed on what they're voting on in general. Like, I know, like me personally, I didn't really pay that much attention to this last election. So I didn't feel like I should vote on it because I was wrapped up in so much stuff in my own personal life. I didn't pay attention to it. So I didn't cast a vote. The election before, I did cast a vote. And before that one, like, no, just the one before. Because, But this past one, I didn't because I was like, well, I haven't been paying attention. It's not. And people are like, no, you should. It's your right. It's your right. And I'm like, okay. It's my right. It's my duty as a citizen. But at the same time, it's also my duty as a citizen to make an informed choice. And I will not be making an informed choice if I just go and I just select someone to be president.
And it's scary too, because a lot of people's informed choices are just completely not real.
No.
At all.
No.
All the information, and I know some some weird, stuff that I won't, say, but nothing you see is like real at all. And like, that's the scary part, because a lot of people actually don't do like a deep dive and read things. And I mean, I don't blame them, but like, everything they're voting on and for is just completely like not what's going on and not the case. And, when certain sides skew things and the whole United States wants to target people and blah, 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 like, they're going to be like, I'm going to vote this way because, my best friend Becky's doing it too, and she's going to hate me if I don't vote this way. Like, that's why a lot of people are voting the way they do. Like, they're not informed. I would say probably 20% of voters actually know what they're voting for. Probably lower than that.
Yeah. I mean,
crazy.
How can, in your experience with this area, right, how can people determine like what they see on social media and the reality? How do they fill that gap?
I don't even know if you can, because it's so saturated. Like, the fact checkers aren't even fact checking. They're just writing what they think should be there. So you can't trust fact checkers. You can't trust any, media outlet. You can't trust the influencers. You really can't trust anyone unless you're looking at it, a firsthand, I don't know what you want to call it, but like a firsthand website or something. If you're reading, shit off the actual White House website, or, reading actually like peer-reviewed studies and stuff. That's where we would get a lot of our information, is like reading just political theory and all of that to give us, a base and understand basic economics. There's a lot of books that, people should be reading, just to have an understanding of, capitalism and what America's actually, based off of. From there, you can see, like, for example, the bill that's being passed, a big, beautiful bill. Go read it or go skim through it. Go, listen to a podcast on the bill, listen to a bunch of things, listen to everything, listen to Fox, listen to CNN, then, make your own decisions. But don't say something online unless you've read it yourself, like the real and raw version, or exactly what's going on. There's a lot of people that do researchers. There's a lot of researchers out there that put good information out, and that's actually real, and they're not skewed, any which way. It's hard to find that though.
Yeah, I think it's hard too. And one thing that I think not a lot of people really look at is the people in power are in power. And then we are the people that are not in power for the
Yeah.
most part. And the people in power have their only goal is to maintain power, right? Because that's how they got there in the first place. And they want us to think that it's these five in power and these five in power and all the people that follow these five and all the people that follow these five. But when these five aren't politically debating, the 10 of them are having dinner.
Yes.
Like that's something that I don't think a lot of people like.
Understand.
It's like, oh, Trump versus Biden. I'm like, I don't know. I'm seeing Trump hang out with Biden a lot. I don't know about you guys. They're together all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I think it's something that like they're debating on stage, but people who aren't either of those people are debating in the streets, and it's tearing families apart. It's tearing friendships apart. It's tearing relationships apart. And I'm like, you guys don't even see that these guys are hanging out. It's like, man, I don't like your idea. I don't like your idea. Then they put the microphones away. And then they're like, oh, where are we going for dinner?
They're like, don't you hate
like,
yeah.
Yeah, they create this uproar and all these different people. It's just a distraction. And you know the saying that Lincoln had, a house divided against itself cannot stand.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking about the political, the Democrats versus the Republicans, the people in Congress. If that's how you look at it, that's fine. But what he means is they are trying to divide the people, because if you divide the people, then the people aren't going to see through what's going on right now.
Actually going on, which is a little deep, but we don't know. Honestly, I know stuff, but we don't know anything. Like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what they're planning. We don't know the reality of what the heck is going on deep in the government. We don't know who's actually involved.
No, and you don't have that many time. You don't have that much time to peel all those layers.
There's so many.
Because you go, oh, look at this Black Ops redacted document that I found on the internet. And it's like, dude, I promise you they don't care about that if it's on the internet. I guarantee you you haven't found a pot of gold if it's sitting there.
You haven't seen it. Yeah. You can make inferences, especially with what's all going on right now with like the Epstein documents and everything, and all the, Pizzagate and stuff like that. Everyone should look into that. It's pretty crazy. But those are just that's like, they haven't even taken all that down. Like, the fall of Cabal on YouTube was up for a year. Like, they don't care about that stuff. And that stuff's pretty fucked up. So imagine what else is going on. We don't know. It's terrifying if you really think about it. It gets deep. Like, it runs deep, and it's not just our country. Like, it runs deep with every powerful leader and family and representative in the U.S.
Yeah. And not even just the U.S. That's
the world, honestly. Yeah.
That's another thing. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not happening, because like the Middle East, there's definitely like bombings that are occurring, like 100%, and it's terrible. And it should not be happening. But these different threats of world war, I think it's just to keep people at bay. Truly. I think it's just to keep people from, I mean, I want to know your thoughts on it too.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like, they always like come to an agreement, and then 2 weeks later they're fighting again once everyone's like, oh, they came to an agreement, we're fine. And they start fighting again. And I'm like, guys, these are like grown men on the playground just bickering for no reason. Like, what are we doing here?
Innocent people are getting caught.
Yeah.
I know it's definitely happening. It's definitely going on. But I think what people don't realize is it's been going on for decades and decades and decades now. Like, the Israeli and Palestine conflict, that's not new. Like, it's not new at all. This has been going on, forever. And I'm glad people are, speaking out against it and whatever's going on now. And allegedly it's squashed, but then, a day later they're back dropping bombs on each other. So, and then they just signed something else too. I can't remember the two countries, but now Trump's getting nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't remember. It wasn't Israel and Palestine. It was two other countries, but they just reached peace too. And then tomorrow we're gonna get a notification on our phone. But it's like funny, because a month ago we were all so terrified and scared that missiles were gonna start coming and popping down in America from Russia or whatever, and now we're back to being normal, and we'll be distracted by something else tomorrow. If these things were actually serious, obviously they're serious problems, but if these things were a threat to the United States, there would be a lot bigger, action taken. We're being distracted from something, I think, and I'm a firm believer in that we don't actually know what's going on. We see what they want us to see, and we're being distracted. We're being distracted by the Epstein files. We're being distracted by the conflict in the Middle East, and we're being distracted by Olivia Rodrigo shoe fell off at Coachella. Like, all these things that we see on the internet that causes such a stir. Like, what's really going?
Yeah. I mean, it's all smoke screens.
All of it.
Memes occur like right when something crazy is about to happen. Like, do you see the Coldplay guy and his head of HR? That happened right when the Epstein files or the Epstein case was going on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Like, if I remember correctly.
It happened right when they were like about to release the files and they redacted it or something.
Yeah, now it doesn't exist all of a sudden, which is insane.
It's all crazy, and that goes deep into like Joe Biden's son Hunter, and when they wouldn't show what was on his laptop, we never got to see that. Like, I'd love to see what was on his laptop, but there's some fucked up, there's some, crazy stuff happening, and I wouldn't say it's a threat to us, but like there's some weird things happening in all governments.
Well, what irritates me about it the most is it's kind of like a disrespect to our intelligence, our ability to handle stuff. And I mean, I'm going to speak for myself because I don't know how other people would react to certain situations like that. But just tell me what's happening. Just be 100% truthful, and it's not
for will.
Yeah, and then
because
it's like
what they're doing so bad that we would try and overthrow the government or something.
Correct.
It would be absolute uproar.
Yeah, because the people not in power would go, okay, I understand that you're in this party and I'm in this party, but we can agree that's messed up, right? Okay, we're done with this. And here's the thing though, every time a government's been overthrown, for the most part, whoever comes into power, it's just cyclical. And it just goes back to exactly what it was before. So, like, I mean, I'm not saying that there's no way to fix it, but I definitely think that there's got to be someone very, very special that gets into a position like that in order to change how things actually are perceived and how things are actually, intertwined and work with each other.
But it'll never go that way. Our government's too strong and powerful to, I feel like even go against our whole population of what's going on. Like, there's too many resources, connections. Like, if we ever in reality, and I know it's literally in the Constitution, but if ever in reality we tried to overthrow the government, no, like, we'd all be cooked. Like, I don't think it can happen. Like, I don't think, they obviously don't want it to happen. I don't think it can happen. There's a lot of things in the Constitution that we just talked about. Free speech, obviously, we know is not happening.
One thing that is, it's hard because everything is so divided. They've done a great job. I'll give them props. They've done a great job of dividing everyone's opinion to the point where, like, if they have a duty to serve their country and, like, the president tells them, like, all the people are revolting, like, but I am the country, not the people. You have to defend me at the White House. Then it's like, okay, then you got people their kids, the dad could be revolting and the kid's in the military. Now the kid has to, it's just, I want to know when being the president stopped being a civil service job to the extent that it should.
Very long ago, I think. Like, I can't even tell you, like, the last president. Like, I feel like the Bush days is where it starts getting, like, it kind of starts getting funky. Like, Bush or like Clinton, like, all that stuff is when you start hearing, like, that's kind of odd, that's shady, that's weird. And, now we've had the same president for 8 years, and then we had Biden for 4. Like, already that's 16, 17, like, that's, like, a long time. Or, 12 years of the same Trump-Biden whole dealio. Like, they've maintained power for so long.
Well, I mean, I know around then is when we started to, like, really talk about it, but that was also right around, like, the .com boom, where people had access to things like that, and the government didn't have such a hold on the information that was on the internet.
So
and, like, people could easily hack stuff. Yeah, right? And then, like, the internet while it opened up sources of information, it also left a lot of entities exposed, especially the ones that didn't have the IT software and IT people to really be able to handle, restricting that stuff. And that's when a lot of the stuff got out and people were like, hold on.
Yeah.
Or like newspapers were probably like sending stuff out like in like the internet media, and people in other cities were like, hold on, you guys do what in Maine? We don't do that here. Like, that's insane. Why would you do that? And then it just, that freedom of information makes everyone kind of exposed.
Yeah. I think the internet, was the first step in that. But social media has been just the biggest, blessing and the biggest curse in everything that we talked about today. I feel like has social media's caused or worsened or got like made better. Like everything revolves around social media and the internet. 100%. Like why did I start bodybuilding? Social media. I saw it on social media. Why did I become a personal trainer? I saw people doing it on social media. I was like, oh, that looks cool. Horses are on social media. My job, I work in social media. My political thing was social media. Like I got in, I struggle with disordered eating because of social media. Like it's all social media, and that's such a spiral topic too that we could probably do a whole separate podcast on. It's
For
just
sure.
social media. But I mean, there's obviously benefits, but man, like it affects everything. And like men's view on women, women's view on men, relationships, all of that. I think that's a big thing too.
Yeah, one thing that two things I got. One, with the whole men to women, women to men thing, I think it's one thing to like find something funny on social media, but you really need to take like a full assessment of your life. Like if there's a meme that's like, when I gotta convince my husband to take the trash out, whatever, but it's like, my husband really does take the trash out every day. Like, even though this is funny, I know like truly within my relationship, he takes the trash out all the time.
Yeah.
Or like me trying to convince him to do the dishes or her to do the dishes. And it's like, but like really like take inventory.
Mm-hmm.
How many times has she done the dish? Like you have to like separate like what I was talking about earlier, like that gap between social media and reality. I know we were talking about like political spectrum, but even in your own like relationship spectrum, like you have to be able to separate those two things and really take inventory and accountability on what's really happening in your life.
Right.
And for you, even though you've had all these interactions with social media and like, the good, the bad, you currently are working at Advent Health as in, would you say it was sports management?
Yeah, so I'm like there for the facility. Yeah,
ice sports facility management. That's what you said. So you're doing like marketing and event planning. How do you plan on utilizing social media to, help them market their events?
Yeah, so we obviously have, social media pages. I think posting's the biggest thing. I'm so good with social media that it's like, I wouldn't say it's my dog is going crazy over here trying to chew stuff. He's in a bad mood, so I keep looking down. But it's kind of hard to describe it because I like know exactly what to do. But like algorithms are a big thing. Like, stop it! Look at his little face. I do this for the TVJ hockey team. The algorithms are something big. Trends are huge. You really just have to have like a collective knowledge on what people want to see, and then you just gotta give them that. So like when I talked about like me, my personal posting, like not gearing towards an audience, it makes it authentic, yes, but like for this kind of stuff, you obviously have to gear it, towards the hockey audience and the figure skating audience, the Wesley Chapel audience. But I really enjoy posting and making graphics for, the hockey teams. We're doing all our signings right now. I'll be scoring and recording the players and all of that stuff. So it's fun to take what was like a passion of mine, and all I've learned from that and like turn it into, I wouldn't say a career, but what I'm doing for work right now. And I also do it for a real estate agency too. Same thing, just using my knowledge on algorithms and what to post, when to post, what's trending. That's what it is. Like, I think people overcomplicate it a lot, especially brands and facilities. In reality, you just have to know like what the people want to see. It's down to like the colors, like all of that fun stuff, and what Instagram's gonna pick up, what the algorithm's gonna shoot out at you. It comes pretty naturally when you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like that's the part for me that's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, like sitting here and talking to someone for an hour and a half, like even longer sometimes, like that stuff doesn't bother me. I could do that all the time,
Yeah.
every day. It's then, okay, is this the video I should post? What color should my caption be? Should I make it a 1x1 or a 9x16, or what should, like, how should I have it framed? And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, truly, when I first started this podcast and I kind of ended it, I think it was partially due to that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I hate, I mean, like what you love, like I don't like, I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't like posting. I don't like creating, like, and like I do it, right? And it's easy for me to do, especially with this new software I have that, like, you know, I just make them all at once and then it
Mhm.
automatically kicks them out. It's
Right.
awesome.
That is awesome.
But other than that, like the actual structuring of them, I have to get really, I have to get better at for sure.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely not innate, or it's definitely not, it's a skill you've developed for sure with everything that you've done.
I would agree. And it's like I can detect when an algorithm is shifting, and like some people don't even know what an algorithm is. And like it's one of those things that like you can get a degree in like social media management, sure, but it's such a picked up like skill over time that's supernatural. It's like, I mean, it's like personal training. Like you can learn it and you can get certified, but you have to do it and do it and do it and do it, and then it becomes supernatural, you know, to you. Like I could go up to someone right now and be like, okay, fix this, this, and this, and this, and that. Like, but maybe I didn't learn that in my ISSA textbook. But
No, you definitely didn't. I mean,
exactly.
I know I didn't. I know.
It's what you pick up, like using all the information like you've learned. You have to know it's trending. It's like the big thing, and like it's hard to kind of see that. Like right now, like okay, the swiping photos on TikTok's trending, and every TikTok I've made with the swiping is blowing up. And then you got to know what audios. But what was trending 2 weeks ago, which was like a 30-second clip, they don't want that anymore. They're not pushing that out. So you just got to keep up with it. A good source is Chat GPT. As you know, basic as that is, like they're really good at what's, you know, picking up on like the algorithm switching and knowing what Instagram and TikTok's actually pushing out to other people besides your followers. I don't use ChatGPT, like sometimes, but I kind of naturally, like, I don't know, you can scroll for an hour and be like, all right, here's a new algorithm.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it's important for like, especially like content creators, social media people to like know exactly what the algorithm is. What's one thing you want to give to the audience?
Oh my. I don't know. Oh my god, these questions.
I mean, you've been through like a lot, right? You've been through a lot of different life experiences, and you've navigated bodybuilding, you've navigated being a social media influencer, you've navigated different job changes. What's one thing that's always stuck with you throughout all of that you think would be beneficial for people to know?
I would say you don't have to do one thing. Like, you don't have to go to college for one thing and do that thing for the rest of your life. So do everything you want to do everything you can. If you don't like your job, quit. Find something else. Don't be stuck miserable. That's definitely one thing that I wish could get in more people's, you know, brains. Obviously, it's not that easy, you know, situations and stuff. But if you don't like something, don't do it. Period.
It sounds simple, but it's very profound, because a lot of people do what they don't like all the time.
You don't like it. You don't like someone. You don't like your job. You don't like your sport. You don't like your living situation. Stop. You know, like just stop. Don't do it.
Make changes to get there for sure. And it's all about starting off, just starting in general.
Yeah.
And then you can make it there.
Just do it. Like,
just do it. Like,
that's such a good quote. Like, it really is. But
Aubrey, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate our conversation.
And I know that went in a lot of different directions, but
it
was fun. I have to come back on and we gotta deep dive the social media thing or something.
Absolutely. I would love to have you on for an episode and like teach people how to break down like different social media algorithms and things like that. I feel like that'd be very interesting and very beneficial for not only them, but me as well. And I would really appreciate that.
Workshop. Yes.
So people can follow you on Instagram. I mean, if you have a TikTok, I don't know if they completely banned you off TikTok, but you know, what are your socials?
On Instagram is like my fun gym account. And then TikTok, it's I'm Obs. So like IMAUBZ. So I post my horse stuff now. So I have a lot of different social media accounts, but those are my two main ones.
Awesome. And is there you have any like codes or anyone you're sponsored by so like people can get some discounts?
Yes, I have a lot. So
we can drop them in the description. Yeah.
The links are in my bios on all my social medias for any codes or sponsorships or TikTok shop products that I love. So
okay.
Some of those.
Awesome. Well, again, Aubrey, thank you for coming on. And for everyone who's listening, we are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on YouTube. I post on Instagram. Bumped it up to 3 times a week. I was doing once a week, so bumped it up to 3 times a week. And thank you for listening. And as always, stay blessed.